Kyle Scatliffe made a memorable Broadway debut in Les Miserables. He's currently starring opposite Cynthia Erivo, Jennifer Hudson and Danielle Brooks in The Colour Purple. We're here tonight at the Bernard B. Jacobs Theatre to catch up with the Olivier nominee. Kyle Scatliffe, Colour Purple. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
So you're working with some incredible leading ladies. Talk to me about being in a rehearsal studio and then on stage with Cynthia Erivo and Jennifer Hudson and Danielle Brooks. I mean, dream come true, no?
Absolute dream come true. The first day was so crazy because we all walked in, everyone's like, oh man, where is she, where is she, where is she? And then we all meet Jennifer, and it's, she was so gracious. It was like you meet her and you're like, oh my God, you're normal. I think you're as normal as anybody else on the street. And it's one of those things where, like, you know, when you're meeting someone that's a celebrity, you hope that they're just like everybody else and have the same weird quirks that everybody else has. And she's just such a cool person. And Cynthia, actually, I met Cynthia 2 years ago.
In London? We're going to get to London,
yeah. So I won't say anything about that yet. But met her 2 years ago. And so it was just really great to see her again. And Danielle has been the greatest scene partner I've ever had.
I mean, she's working very closely with you, isn't she?
Yeah, it's been a blast. I've never worked with someone who can come on stage on a constant basis like that and give you the same thing, give you new things. There are little idiosyncratic changes that she might do, and then we like just kind of meld together. I've never had such a chemistry with somebody else. It's been really, really fun to work with. And
on some levels, you're the light relief, aren't you? Mm-hmm. The two of you on stage.
Yes,
I mean, that's got to be great, giving that to the audience every night.
Yeah, it's really fun because we know that we're doing a story that's very harrowing, it's epic, it's sweeping, and even though the story has a lot of elements to it that can be very hard for someone to take, it's got elements to it that are very light at the same time. And it's really fun to take the audience out of those moments and bring them back to laughter and then pull them back. It's like this ribbon that's being pulled back and forth. It's whipping in the wind. It's really fun.
Talk to me about how you've been putting your stamp on the role of Harpo, because obviously this is a revival. I mean, how have you made it your own?
I went to the book to figure out who he is. And I have a very big attachment to my own mother, and he has a very big attachment to his mother. It's not spoken of that much in the show. Mr. only really speaks of it at one point in the song when he says that Harpo's mother died when he was younger. And it's the only time it's really ever brought up. But that is such a large moment in his life, and that's what brings him to the person that he is. I think he's a very sensitive person. He's a very sensitive man, and that's why, you know, Sophie is able to take him down a notch in the way that she does.
Oh, yes.
And I think he's just so inherently not like his father. He's more like his mother, and he's searching for his mother through his life, through these three women. He's searching for that same kind of love and that reciprocation of that love.
And do you remember your first Broadway show? Because you were born and bred in New Jersey, so did you come in and see a Broadway show when you were younger?
I did. My first show was Aida.
Oh, wow.
And it was when Deborah Cox was in it. I saw that, and then my second one was Little Shop of Horrors.
You had cool parents.
No, well, it wasn't actually.
Was it your teacher?
It was the school,
It's
yeah.
a school.
It was, we went to, it was our choir teacher. It was our choir, and so the choir, theater, and the band all went together because we're all part of the Woodington Players, which was what the school's theater program was called.
And did you think at that moment, I want to be on Broadway when you saw these shows?
Not yet, actually. It was kind of crazy because in 10th grade, I started doing shows and I was like, oh, this is really fun. I really love this. And then I saw Aida in 11th grade and I was like, wow, that's a really incredible show. And then I saw Little Shop in 12th grade and I was like, oh, isn't that something? I was like, I would love to play that plant one day. But the thing was that I looked at it like a dream that I couldn't do. I didn't think it was something that was sustainable for me because I didn't know if I was good at it or not. The turning point actually came with my father. He came to see me in Guys and Dolls in 12th grade.
Who are you playing?
Nicely. Someone cast me in it again, please. Because I will do it again. It's one of my favorite parts ever. I was playing Nicely, and it was incredible because it's not a part that is inherently... you don't really push any emotion into people. They don't cry about it. I did the show. I did Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat. We finished the whole thing. I bump into my father outside, and he's crying.
Oh, wow.
And I look at him, and I'm like, I'd never really seen him cry before. So I it was just something, it was the first time I saw that you could change someone using theater. Because I wanted to do something that would inherently help people that I would love to do at the same time. And that's one of the reasons I really love doing this show.
Yeah.
Is that people come here and they leave transformed. And
Well, it really does speak to people, this show.
yeah, it speaks to people a lot. And that's all I could ever ask for in my job.
Yeah. Now, your big break was SCOTTSBORO Boys, wasn't
Yes,
it? And you
yes.
got an Olivier nomination, which is the British version of the Tony.
Yes.
So, talk to me how you got that part, because I mean, it really was a big
yes.
break for you, wasn't it? That you're suddenly
was.
moving from here to London to do that show.
Yeah, that's what started this train. Because I got SCOTTSBORO Boys, and then Cameron saw me in that, and that's how
Cameron
I got
McIntosh, mega producer of
Mr. McIntosh.
MIZ,
How you
Cats, Phantom, Saigon. I did a one-on-one with him, actually.
Oh, yes.
So he saw you in SCOTTSBORO Boys.
Yes.
And thought, yeah.
Yeah, because he
Opened
hadn't
up for
cast an
MIZ.
Ross yet, and he was like, this kid's perfect. It's like he told me about it later, and I was just like, that's so weird. Like, without Catherine Schreiber and Susan and all of them just casting me in that show, I wouldn't be sitting where I am right now.
Would you go back to London at any point?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Had a
That
good time
place.
there. Well, you
I
were
love that
Olivier
place.
nominated, for goodness sake.
I loved it. And it wasn't just the theater, because I love the fact that theater is a part of the culture there. It's not just entertainment, it's part of the way people see the world there. It's very interesting in the way that people are reserved about theater. They stand up, they're standing up
Oh,
because
it's a big
they want
deal.
to
They
stand
don't.
up. Yeah.
They rarely stand up.
Very big deal for them. Yeah. So it's it's hard to impress the people of London with theater, and when you do, they want to talk to you about it. They want to, and it was such an incredible experience.
So Cameron sees you there. He casts you in Les Miserables here. You, in my view, sort of have become the face of that production. I mean, your face is still on all the posters. But how does that make you feel? Because obviously it was a big deal that you were there, that you were playing this flagship role with the flag. I mean, that was an extraordinary moment for you.
It's so funny.
For a Broadway debut.
Yeah, it was so funny because I thought about it sometimes, and sometimes I didn't. Like, I was just like, I'm just Kyle from New Jersey. Like, I was like, I'm just this kid from Jersey that is now making his Broadway debut in Les Mis, which is incredible. But I think the thing that I took from it a lot was there were these kids that would come to the theater, like these little black boys and girls, and they would go, oh man, people can play these parts. Because Nikki was playing Eponine as well. And I think it was just, that's what I thought about more, the inspiration of it all.
What other dream roles do you have? Because you have a reputation at Broadway.com, because Norman Lewis spent years telling us he wanted to play Phantom, and he did.
Oh, yes.
So you need to put it out there, and then we can manifest it for you. So some dream roles. You would love to go back to Guys and Dolls?
I would love to do Nicely Nice and Guys and Dolls.
Okay,
it would be
putting
a full
it out
circle.
there.
It'd be a full circle.
Yeah, we
me.
love that.
That, Jim Conley in Parade.
Oh,
Love
really?
that show.
Okay.
I think that show's incredible. I think the music's incredible. I think the
Any
story's
agents, casting directors, whatever, listening, here you go.
And Cole House Walker in Ragtime. I've done it before, but I would love to do that on Broadway if they ever bring it back again. Now this is one that I'm hoping happens sooner than later.
Okay. Scoop.
The bus/dryer in Carolina Change.
Really?
It's one of my favorite roles I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
In Chuck Cooper, I worship the man.
So we've got all that out there.
Yes.
I always like to end on sort of this question.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the show. Sitting in your incredible dressing room. What do you hope audiences take away with them from seeing The Colour Purple?
I hope that, well, I'll preface it with this. We have this prayer circle we do every night before the show downstairs. And during that, every night we say that we hope that people are coming into this building that have things that they need to get out of them, or things that are burdens in their life, or things that can be obstacles that can be jumped over, smashed through, and burned down pretty much just to get to your goal. We hope that a lot of people can come to this show and have all of those things look like they're possible to actually overcome. Because we're doing a show where you're watching this woman on a nightly basis who is overcoming incredible odds. A big theme of forgiveness, being able to forgive people for the things that they've done to you. Because I'm a big believer that the only way that you can truly get over something that someone's done to you is if you forgive them for it. And I just hope that people can come here and they can transform their lives or see something on stage that can transform them into being the person they want to be. And never the person that someone else wants them to be, the person that someone else needs them to be, but the person that they need to be. Because your individualistic life is so important. And sometimes I think that gets lost in life, that we forget how us as individuals are really special, because there's only one of each of us.
Kyle Scatliffe, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.